Hi, my name is Jackie Pontello. I'm Executive Director and Co-Managing Attorney of Aid to Victims of Domestic Abuse. The behavior that we consider domestic abuse runs the gamut from physical abuse to emotional, financial abuse, and at base, it's a power and control issue. So some of the most serious abusers don't have to resort to their fist if they have alternate ways of controlling their victim. I tell the story quite a bit of a partner in a downtown Houston law firm who believed that his wife and children were animals, to use his word, not mine, and dictated that they only eat things that were out of the garbage cans. So they literally, in a very high income suburb, were eating their meals out of their neighbor's garbage to the point that the neighbors would start deliberately leaving untouched food there for them. That was designed to teach them their place, to use his terminology. Previously, protective order, the longest duration was 2 years. But for victims who suffered major injury, 2 years might not either cover the amount of time their attacker's in prison, or does it protect the fact that they feel at threat from this person over the course of a lifetime. We have a case here that I think is a perfect example. We did a divorce several years ago for a woman who was married to a member of a very prominent motorcycle gang, which controls the methamphetamine trade in various states, including Texas. We have relocated her 5 times to 4 different states because every time she's relocated, they seem to find her. Well, he hasn't had any direct contact with her in those 2 years. Third parties, fellow motorcycle gang members, are the ones who've had the contact. So she, under the previous version of the code, wasn't eligible for a new order. So her original two-year order has expired, but they keep showing up when she moves to a new state, 65 motorcycles in the yard kind of thing. And she's afraid to come back to Texas to face him to try to get a new order. But this is a woman who would now qualify for one based on the seriousness of the injury. She has brain damage and epileptic fits from the level of injury she sustained from him. Face looked like the Elephant Man. She was bruised over every portion of her body. He had beat her into unconsciousness with the butt of an AK-47 and had kicked her with his steel-toed boots for several hours when she was prone, when she was unconscious. And she would be somebody who could get a permanent protective order if she were walking into a Texas court on September 1st or thereafter. Particularly for victims of domestic violence who don't have children. Pets are often stand-in children, and they're very emotionally important to victims, particularly in these kind of non-nurturing relationships. And over the years, we've seen many victims who won't leave unless they can take their pets with them. And because of that bond between the victim and their pets, they're often used by abusers as stand-ins. We've had clients where they smash the head of newborn kittens against brick walls. One a couple months ago, still an active case, where he slit her dog's throat to teach you that you're next. And we have a woman who walked in the door yesterday who we may actually end up telling to wait till September 1st to get a protective order, because September 1st her pet would be protected, and currently her abuser is on probation, and so he beats the pet in front of her and tells her she's next, but that he doesn't want to hit her till he gets off of probation, so he's hitting the dog to show her what she's in for when he gets off of probation, because he doesn't think he's going to go to jail for abusing the animal. So after 3 legislative sessions, that I personally know about where there's been legislation introduced to include pets and companion animals in protective orders, it finally passed.